So, Mark, I think we're up to
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Sunshine of Your Love. At the beginning of the song on the DVD, you kind of see a flash of Phil Collins with a tambourine, and you're like, why isn't he playing drums? He's a great drummer. And it's interesting to know that Phil Collins played with Clapton and produced Clapton on a couple of albums.
Mm.
And there's a good DVD called Eric Clapton and Friends Live 1986. And he's playing with pretty much the same band, the same four-piece band, Greg Philliganes, Nathan East, Eric, and the drummer was the change. And in 1986, it was Phil Collins. Phil was actually the drummer on this 1990-1991 tour for some time. And then eventually Steve Ferroni, the drummer that we see on the majority of the album, took over. I don't know what specific date he took over, but we could definitely check where'seric.com for that information. I think they might have it when they switched, but I don't know why they switched, because Phil was great. Steve Ferroni is also fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Something important to note with Sunshine of Your Love is that there's 3 lead vocalists on this track, which is probably a first. So Eric sings the main Getting Near Dawn section, and then Greg Philliganes takes over at the Be With You Darlin' Soon. And then Nathan East takes over at I've Been Waiting So Long. So it's really cool that each vocalist gets a feature and it has a different texture to it. So they each bring something different to the table. And it just works really, really well. And Eric and the rest of the band are having a really good time. After the first chorus of the song, Eric and band go back into the riff, and Eric hits a kind of erroneous note. I don't think he meant to hit this note, and if you rewatch it, you'll see it. But it just shows that Eric is human, and that's really good to see. And for guitar players who are just starting out, or even more intermediate and advanced guitarists, seeing Eric Clapton kind of miss a note, it happens to everyone. It happens to singers, it happens to keyboardists, it happens to everyone. And it's great that that's kind of memorialized on this DVD. He starts the guitar solo the same way that the original recording with Cream does, where he's quoting Blue Moon. So it's cool to hear that melody, and the audience likes it too. But anyway, he starts off with that solo, and then he kind of goes into an improv and finishes the solo. And then they have the vocals again, and then they have their outro. So they usually end the song on an A chord, and they kind of just would ride it out as Cream would. So they would just go, Sunshine of Your Love. And they would just kind of hang on this chord and fade out. But Clapton and the band just kind of jammed over it for a little bit. And eventually they build up into the riff again. And then it kind of gives Eric a showcase. The band kind of drops out, and Eric does these licks on guitar, and you'll see how amazing and how in command of the instrument he was and is. Right before they go back into the riff of the song, you see a drum fill. It's just da 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 da. But what you'll notice at the very end of the song, in the last 30 seconds, is that Eric now magically has a cigarette at the top of his guitar. Yeah. Where was the cigarette the first 7 minutes of the song? I've been wondering this for about 15 years. So one day I got the CD version of 24 Nights. And for some reason, Sunshine of Your Love was like 2 minutes longer than the DVD version. I said, what's this? Is it a different take or something? But it sounded the same to me. And then at the end of the song, there was this drum solo. And that completely explains that Eric must have walked to the side of the stage and got a cigarette and lit the cigarette and put it in the headstock of his guitar. And that's why in the last 30 seconds, you see Eric with a cigarette. And for years, I was like, what's happening? What continuity person edited this? But now I know why. They must have taken out the drum solo because they didn't like it or think it was appropriate.
Yeah, that's right.
DVD. and they edited it miraculously. If you listen to it, it sounds natural. So that was very interesting to me, and a really cool find, and that I found out by buying the CD version. Just great performance, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, well, the drum solo was obviously edited for the DVD, probably just to fit more content in. I don't know why, because the drum solo is really good too. But this track for me is, you can really capture the band are having a lot of fun on this song. They're you watch the performance of the band. Eric's handpicked obviously the exceptional musicians he's got working with them, and they're having fun in this song. They're enjoying every moment of this. They're probably lapping it up that they're playing on stage, Albert Hall. You can tell the excitement in the band. Eric's playing is phenomenal. I love his singing in this track again. I'm going to emphasize that quite a bit. He's not just a guitar player in this; he's a vocalist. He's got a very strong vocal, and again, it's a fun track. The tones he pulls, and the edit, they did that really, really well. But I actually bought the CD when it came out, so I knew what was going on there with the cigarette hanging out of the headstock sort of thing, which was Clapton's trademark as well. But phenomenal performance, and I can't give it anything but a 10 out of 10, purely because it's so much fun. And Eric's, he's human. You can hear the little imperfections there, but he's playing perfectly, like, in my opinion, for the song. So 10 out of 10, and I'm interested to hear what Andrew's going to say about this one.
Yeah. Alan has mentioned it in the chat. You can hear him say sorry. So, it's kind of interesting. Look, I agree with you too, Brad. I got the record and the CD, and knew the drum solo and heard the drum solo. And if you guys haven't checked out the live version, CD or record version, go to Spotify and check out that drum solo, because the drum solo is amazing. And we've spoken at length about how great the drummer is, Ferroni is, but this is just a stunning drum solo, and that chord work that Clapton's doing at the end jam, it's fantastic. Again, guys, I love this song. I loved it when he played it with Cream. Interesting arrangement. I agree that it's fun. But what I really dig about this is the camera work. It's the camera work, the direction, the lighting. It's just stellar. It's magnificent. And we probably take that for granted now when we see DVD concerts and live streaming concerts. But back in 89, 90, 91, where guitar players were just being filmed because of their smiles still, to get a lot of that musicianship in, where you can actually see it and study it and work out what's going on. It's epic. 10 out of 10. And again, guys, I'm going to say could be a definitive version of Sunshine. Could be. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah, I agree. Can you guys maybe pick up at the end when they're vamping that there's a little bit of Motherless Children in there? Is that just in my? Are you guys hearing that or not?
Oh yeah, I can hear that. Well, it's in the same key. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing a little bit of a little bit of a nod to Motherless Children there.
Yeah, I hear that. Interesting.
Yeah. So I've always picked that up. I'm like, well, I wish they would have broken into Motherless Children there. It would have been fantastic.
Hey, Brian.
Would have been a great segue. Alan, yes, I saw Eric on the 2007 tour twice. So that was phenomenal. His playing on that was unbelievable. Had a fantastic band with him too. So that was one of my, highlights of my, I'm going to say one of my highlights of my musical career, because I actually went there and it inspired me to just get back into that style of playing again.
Yeah, I saw them on that tour too. Epic.
That's where this came from.
Wow. Yeah, the section that you were mentioning is the...
Yeah.
It could also be Lay Down Sally.
Lay Down Sally,
Oh.
yeah. That's what it is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good catch.
There you go.
We're
So
all
we've just dived deep into something live here. We've worked it out between us. So there you go.
This is awesome.
Lay Down Sally. I always thought it was Motherless Children, but it is Lay Down Sally.
It could be both of them. They're both in the same key. A.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys in the chat maybe you can confirm whether it's Motherless Children, Lay Down Sally, or both. Maybe it's a bit of a nod to both.
I always thought it was Motherless Children, but Lay Down. Oh, jeepers! Ooh, I'm swinging the other way now.
Well, okay, let's see it for a second. So, Motherless Children is.
Yeah.
And then Lay Down Sally is what?
Lay Down Sally. It's
It
Lay
does
Down
sound-
Sally.
It does sound more like Motherless Children.
I think it's
And it
Motherless
does-
Children.
It does
Yeah.
sound more like that than it does Lay Down Sally.
I think it's Motherless Children. Anyway, they're vamping, so they're probably just having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Cool.
awesome.
Okay, so that ends the 4-piece band nights.
Mhm.
And now we go into